Hi, welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. And I thought today I would talk about installing applications in Linux. This is a little bit different than what you'd see in Mac or in Windows. And it may seem a little intimidating at first, but once you've done it a few times, no big deal. And there are many different ways of installing software in Linux. I'm going to show you some of the more common varieties. We're going to start off with PPAs. I mentioned once before that I couldn't remember what a PPA was, and a PPA is a personal package archive. What you're doing is you're telling your system, and you're putting a little line in some code easily enough through your terminal. Don't get scared. This is all easy enough to do. But what you're going to do is you're going to be telling your computer, I want software from this repository on this server or on these servers. So I'm giving you permission to go out and get it. You do have to let your computer know that this is software that doesn't naturally come from the built-in repositories of whatever Linux system you're using. You know, I'm using Linux Mint. It has a great repository. It has a lot of things that are up to date and some things are not. For example, Handbrake right here is something that I am going to be using. So I'm going to go to the official release PPA, click on that, and I wonder if my my video is going to get all choppy again. Hope not. All right, so normally, if I were to go into software, I could come in here. There's Bitwarden. And what am I doing wrong here? I'm doing something wrong. Explorer. There we go. It's been a while since I've used this. Alright, so if I wanted to use Handbrake, I could come in here and start typing it. It's going to go search, and there it is. And this version is a flat hub. You know how I feel about flats, but that's okay. If you don't want to go through this process, this is a simple way of being able to put it on. But big install size and download size. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use what's coming directly from their servers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy that line right here, sudo apt repository, sudo super user do. Okay, so I'm telling the computer, I'm the super user. Computer, you do what I want you to do. We're going to add, apt. Apt is part of the system that is used to install software. So we're telling apt that we're going to add a repository, and that repository is going to be a PPA, and it's from this guy, and it's going to be for this software. Okay, so I select that line, I copy it, I go to my terminal, open up a terminal, paste it. I'm going to have to put in my password now. The reason for that is I'm putting something in the system that is going to change the system. Okay, so it depends on which PPA. Some of them only have a couple lines. Some of them are just like this. They'll give you a lot of information. If you trust the source, just hit enter. Okay, it'll add that and the key in the security key. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go sudo super user do apt update. This is going to call all of the other PPAs that I've installed to make sure that everything is up to date, and I'm going to get the information off this new server that I've just told the system I want to add to my listings. Okay, and this usually takes no time whatsoever. Famous last words. There we go. There we go. Now I get to install the software. Sudo superuser apt install, and I'm going to install Handbrake. Okay, and you can see that you can do a command line interface, or you can just do the graphical user interface, the GUI version, just by typing in Handbrake. If I want the command line, I'll do -CLI. I'm not that geeky, okay? So Handbrake, and goes through all this stuff, and don't be weird about it. It's just doing what it needs to do to install the software, and it's in. It's done. All I have to do now is select from the menu Handbrake. Okay, and Handbrake is on my computer running. So that's one way of being able to take care of that, through PPAs. And whenever the software gets updated and these servers are loaded with the more recent, latest, greatest, then I'll get an indication up here that I have software that's ready to be updated. So that's PPAs. They're pretty simple, really. And the nice thing about it, again, is that you just put it in once, and as long as they keep updating for your system, you'll get notifications, you'll get the latest, greatest. So, PPAs. We're done with that for now, and we're done with this for now. We're going back to AppImages. If you didn't see before, this is AppImage. Now, I've already installed this, but by downloading an AppImage, I grabbed it. Didn't mean to do that. And okay, choose the app image. I'm not really sure what happened just then. Okay. Again, poor computer struggling to do its best. Alright. See, I pulled the wrong one. I pulled a DMG. This is for Mac. I hit the wrong button. Let's do that again. A DMG file will not work with Linux. Ironically, however, the Mac operating system is built on a Linux-based system called BSD, the Berkeley Software Developers or Development or something like that. Distribution, that's what it is. I remember now. Show in folder. There are two ways of being able to open this. One is by selecting properties and making sure under permissions allow executing file as a program. If you don't, nothing happens. So we've done that. I already have this installed, but you can also open it with AppImage Launcher. What this does is it puts it into an applications folder. It puts the icon into an applications icon folder so that you can go ahead and put it in your menus. Since I've already done this, I can open this file. This is no big deal. Okay, see, AppImage wants to do this all by itself. I'm not going to integrate and run once. We'll just bring the program up, but this is AppImage. Everything that the system or that the software needs is included in this file. The same thing goes true with delete. The same thing holds true for let's go back here to the FlatPaks and snaps. These are all self-contained. There are some arguments that these are potentially more secure because they're sandboxed. They're kept away from other programs. I've also heard the exact opposite, that they have the potential of causing more trouble, more security issues. I don't really know. The reason that I don't use snaps is because it is solely proprietary by Canonical that builds Ubuntu, and you can, Linux Mint does not come with snaps ready to install. You can set up your system in Linux Mint to be able to install snaps. It's a process. I'm not going to get into it. And there are even in Arch, you can install snaps in Arch if you want to. But it's just that it is set up strictly by one company, where FlatHub is more of a community-based thing. Same thing with AppImages. So if you want to go to FlatHub and take a look at how to download and how to install, just click on the icon on that page, and it'll show you what to do. And this is what a FlatHub page looks like, and these are the instructions. You just copy the information that you need, put it in a terminal, run it. You do have to have FlatPak enabled, installed, and you need to have this website, flathub.org, listed as the repository. Otherwise, none of this works either. So there's good and bad to this. I use one program that is a FlatHub, and it is called HydraPaper. And I should be able to just find it here. Yeah, one result right there. Now this is really cool because in GNOME and in Unity, you can't set, if you have multiple monitors like I do, you can't set up a separate image on each unless you want to try to, go into an image thing and try to do a 1600 by 900 image over here and try to line it up exactly with a 1920 by 1080 image on the, this just solves the problem. You select an image for your left screen, you select an image for your right screen, or different if you've got more, and click, boom, done. And you only have to run this once, but this, I can't seem to find it in anything else but on the FlatHub side. So this is one that I install. So there's a FlatHub for you right there. A FlatPak program that actually comes in handy for me. Alright, there's another kind of program called Thunderbird. Or not Thunderbird, there's another kind of program called bin files. Now, this is where things get really, really different. You shouldn't be too afraid of it. It's just a matter of understanding what you have in front of you and how to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and download Thunderbird this way. I could install it through my software repository. I'm not going to. I could install it in many different ways. There's snaps, there's FlatPaks. I'm just not going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. Now, I don't use Thunderbird, but this was a perfect example of showing you two things. First of all, how to use a program that's downloaded as a binary or a bin file. And this is going to take just a second to unload. I haven't actually been monitoring the video quality, so hopefully it hasn't been getting jerky. That last one I did, where I had all those tabs open in Brave, just sucked the life right out of my computer. This, again, running slow because I'm videoing, I'm audioing, videoing, and trying to chew gum at the same time. It's just not, it's not very conducive to the, oh my God, this is taking forever. Cheers. So, here we are, opening up another, okay. When you see something like this going on, it isn't that it's doing the same thing twice. There's another compressed file in this package. So there's one wrapper, the BZ2. Okay, inside that BZ2 is a tarred package, I think, or it's maybe zipped. And so it has to do the outer shell first, and then it looks inside. Is there anything else I have to work on? Okay, that's where you see this coming in right now. Doesn't that feel better? It's all done. I want to get rid of this. Now, if you want to use Thunderbird, if you want to use it this way, my suggestion, cut it from your downloads. Oh my God, what's going to happen now? Go to your home folder and paste it in there. Why? Well, because this is just easier to get to, really. When you go into the Thunderbird folder, you're going to see a lot of stuff here, and it doesn't look like there's a program, but there is, right down here. This is Thunderbird. If you simply double check, again, by going into Properties, Permissions, allowing it, making sure that the program can run, and close. If you double click this program, think of this as like an exe file all by itself. These are supporting files and folders and fonts and icons and things like that. Double click. I'm not going to set this up, but it will launch hopefully this year. It'll launch Thunderbird. Okay, so you can go through the process of setting up an email account on here. Know your rights down here at the bottom. I've already read them. It's one of the reasons why I'm not using this. I'm using Evolution instead. This is your privacy notification, so on and so forth. So you can set up your email, your calendar, address book. You can do chat with this. News feeds, news groups, things like that. You can import from another program. I swear to you, every time that I have tried to do this before, it never works. Okay, see, and it can't even find Evolution for me, so it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not going to use it. But as you can see, just by double clicking on the application icon right here, you can launch a program. But see over here, this will show up in any panel the same way. There's no icon. There's no Thunderbird icon that you see in the upper left over here. It's got a question mark because it's not associated with anything. And you can add it. Okay, you can add it to your dash, or can you? You can't. So remember, I was talking about those other nifty, great, wonderful websites that I go to all the time. I already showed you one before. Well, I'm going to show you one that I'm using right now. It's to use. It's how to create a .desktop file for your application in Linux. Okay. This explains all about desktop files, what they're for. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the application folder where it is. We're going to create something called a desktop file. We're going to move it over to one of the system folders, and from there we'll be able to access this program from a menu. Doesn't matter if you're using Unity, Linux Mint, Cinnamon, XFCE, KDE. This works for all of them. And it doesn't matter if you're on a Debian based or an Arch based. This just works really, really great. So this right here is what we're looking for. This looks intimidating, doesn't it? What is that? 3, 6, 8 lines of code, something like that. Maybe 7. I'm going to bring up a text editor. I don't want to bring up a full-blown word processing program. It's not necessary. So I'm going to go for Gedit, which is my text editor. Okay, and I've copied it from the website, and I'm pasting it into Gedit. Now, this is how hard all of this is going to be. Okay, you see this right here? I'm going to go back into Properties, okay, and it's going to tell me that this program is where the program location is. But that's not all you need to do. You need to come over here to the file you're creating, see where it says exe equals, and you're going to paste that /home thing, but you're not done because that's just the folder. Now you need to put in the program name, which is right up here. You copy it and you paste it. Voila. Next line right down here, also real easy. If you can type it, you can give it a name. So that's the program. That's the name of the program. Now, how do you get the icon? And I'm showing you Thunderbird because a lot of people use this, and for good reason. I'm not totally bashing them. I'm just sort of bashing them a little bit. But there's other programs called like Geary. Geary's got a really cool look to it. You might want to check that out too for an email program. But if you want to see the icon for Thunderbird, this is where it gets a little bit different, and each program's has it set up in a different way. You would think that you would go to the icons folder for this. No. Go to Chrome, go to icons, go to default. Wow, that's a lot to remember, right? Where you're just double clicking until you get to see all the icons here. I right click on the largest icon, go to properties, copy the location just like I did before. I'm going to paste it right there, add a slash, double click the icon's name, copy it, paste it. I'm so used to using keyboard shortcuts. And effectively, your document over here is complete. You just need to save it, but you need to save it in a special way. So what I'm going to do is I hit the wrong button. Okay. Save it to your desktop. It doesn't work very well any other way for some reason. It doesn't work. If you know how to do it, you can save it to the folder directly, but this is the best way to teach you as a new user. So we're going to save this as Thunderbird.desktop. Okay, and we're going to save it to the desktop. All right, you can see it's now on my desktop, and you're going to sit there and go, but there's no icon. I don't see an icon. Where's the icon? Have faith. Have faith, grasshopper. All right, we're done with that file. I closed it out. We're done with this folder. I'm going to close that out. Honestly, we're done with the browser. Get rid of it. I'm going to open up a terminal. Okay. Now when I do it from the desktop, it shows that I'm on the desktop. I'm going to do this. These instructions will be down below if you're interested. Sudo, the command for move, MV, move, and the file name, Thunderbird desktop. This is the important part. A space, a slash. USR for user. Share. This is a shared folder where like all the application information, all your fonts, all your themes, all your dreams come true are in the share folder. User share, and then there is a folder in there called applications. You would think, well, isn't that where the application should be? No, just the desktop files for those applications. See, every program that I've got listed over here on my my launcher has a desktop file just like this. And let me see if I can do this in a nice clean way. So I'm going to go to my computer. I'm going to go to user, share, and then applications. If I can find it, there we go. And inside here you'll see that there are all these different files in here. They all end in desktop, and right now you're not seeing any icons associated with them because that's how I've got things set up. Just makes it a little bit faster to open up the folder. Don't have to wait for the images to pop up. So as I've got this set up here, let's try to make sure that we're in the same general location where Thunderbird's going to pop in. I'm going to say it's going to, if my alphabet is somewhat decent, then it's going to put Thunderbird here, and all this is going to shift down. So sudo move mv Thunderbird.desktop. If I've typed everything right, user share applications. See, always good to double check. Hit enter, put in my password. Boom. It is off my desktop. It is now in the applications folder right there. So when I go to my menu and I type in Thunderbird, look what's there. Okay? Both of these will work, but this is the one that I actually did the file on. And I'm sorry it's taken so long. But there we go. And then you can just, if you've already set up your email accounts, it'll just start downloading your information. So right there, you did it. You put it in there. And now, again, Thunderbird, I can take this and I can drag it to my menu and it sticks. Oh, there we go. We're going to open it again. And it's opening the application that you placed in a folder in your home directory. Okay, so kind of recapping a little bit of where we're at right now. I've shown you how you can use a binary file or a binary application. I've shown you how to integrate or run an app image. We flirted a little bit with FlatHub and snaps, and you've seen how to that you can install from your package manager in your Linux distribution. And we've also gone through app repositories. I also had shown you once before how to do deb files, .deb files, using LibreOffice in an earlier video, and that was using the terminal. We're going to do something a little bit different right now. We're going to use a different program that you can install on your system that makes life a lot easier. With Linux Mint, it's already baked in, so you don't have to do it. But if it's not, this is what you want to do. So we are now at the download page for my favorite music player, Dead Beef. And forgive my beeping in the background. That's just my dehumidifier going off, telling me I need to be emptied. So we're going to go with the stable builds, and I'm not going to go with this section, or the nightly builds. I want to go with Linux distribution packages. If you ever see something that has a deb file and you want to download it, this is real simple. This will take us to SourceForge, which has some amazing software in there, by the way. And the download will start here in just a second. Go to that folder. Okay, I'm going to right click on it, and there's something called GDebi Package Installer. This is really nice. You don't have to screw around too much with this. You just click to get it running. It brings up a little tiny window that you can move eventually. Now, since I've already got it installed, it's going to tell you the same version is already installed. I can reinstall it. This gives you some information about what this does, what kind of program and what kind of functionality it has. Not every program is going to show this, so if you only see the name, don't worry. I'm not going to reinstall because I've already got my file set up and everything, but all you'd have to do is just click Install Package, and it'll run through the whole thing. It'll tell you if all of your dependencies are met. It usually, especially if you get something that shows like it's a full, what you can do with Kdenlive, for example, you can download their deb file and then install using this GDebi. It's great. It's quick. It's clean. It's nearly painless. So we're just going to close out of that. But that is a brief description of some of the different ways that you can install software on your Linux box, and I hope it's useful for you. There are several of those things that I wish I would have known earlier on, but over time you find these things, and if you happen to stumble across this video and it helped you out, great. Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, don't drink and drive. Don't drive drunk. Don't go to eBay or Amazon inebriated or whatever you do. You'll end up buying crap that you don't want. And I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I'm Len, the Drunk Linux User, saying bottoms up. Later, dudes. Adult beverages. Gotta love it.